Well, here in DC, the House is pushing ahead with a bipartisan bill to ban TikTok in the US or force ByteDance to divest of the app. President Biden said he'd sign the bill if Congress approves it. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the service was caught off guard. Now, this comes amid ongoing speculation of whether TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance is collecting data on US citizens. Now, former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick has reportedly shown interest in buying TikTok. Now, if you remember, in the early rise of TikTok, Microsoft and Oracle also had shown interest in buying it. But the impact of a ban or sale could be more widespread than anticipated, with a number of businesses using the app to promote their products and content creators making a living from social media. Let's bring in Nadia Okamoto, August co-founder and viral TikTok content creator, to discuss more. Thank you for joining us, Nadia. So I first want to get your reaction to this, because we know that TikTok called on creators as they were caught off guard to really step up and contact the local lawmakers. How is this affecting you so far?
Yeah, I mean, when I heard the news, I was really nervous. I was definitely shocked too, because I think for me, TikTok has been such a positive force in my life, whether it be enabling so much of the work that I do on the advocacy side to destigmatize periods, but also as a business owner. I'm the co-founder of August. We're a period care brand that just launched in Target last year. And when we launched in Target, TikTok was one of the main ways that we were really driving brand awareness about that news, right? So I come at it with a lot of passion for the app and what it's enabled me and other entrepreneurs in this space. I think that for me as a creator, the majority of my income comes from this app, whether it be through brand deals, brand endorsements, and from the app directly. And so there is a big financial, outcome of having a loss of an app like this as well, which is kind of scary. I also am from a family of creators, so both my sisters are TikTokers as well. My youngest sister is paying her way through college with the money that she makes as a TikToker, and so for us as creators, but also with so many friends who are creators as well, the results of this is I can't even begin to explain it.
And it's interesting because the government's idea behind this is that, look, it's about protecting data that we don't know where it's being taken to, how it's being used. Are creators as concerned about that when you're putting content out there or putting information about yourself out there? Are you as concerned about how that data is being sold or used?
Not at all. I mean, I think that, I've been on social media since I was 9 years old. I made my first Facebook. I know I wasn't supposed to at age 9, but that's what I did. And so I've grown up on social media. And so this is something that I've always been well aware of. But I also think, as a user of TikTok, and even if you actually look at, what TikTok is sharing with us, there's no evidence that the data or my personal data is being shared with the, Chinese government in any way. And I think that that's something that ByteDance has not only reassured its users of, but also promised that it won't be used in that way. And so for me, honestly, as an Asian American, I feel very frustrated by some of the lines of questioning and how much TikTok has been under the microscope. With very public statements from many congressional leaders who I think show a lot of xenophobic rhetorics and belief from how they push on this app. I would also say that this app is just as much, I think, a part of my life as different meta social media apps are. And I think that that's something that I've always accepted, and it is not concerning to me.
And something that I want to bring to your attention, because former President Trump was talking to CNBC this morning. And when he talked about TikTok, he had talked about, he was in a position at one point to ban it, saying, I could have banned TikTok. I had it banned just about. I could have gotten it done. But I said, you know what? I'll leave it up to you, talking to Congress. I didn't push them too hard, and they decided not to do it. But then he also goes on to say he knows that there's a lot of users, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad with TikTok. But then he said the thing he doesn't like is that without TikTok, you can make Facebook bigger. And I consider Facebook to be an enemy of the people, along with a lot of the media. But so this idea of if TikTok were to be banned, that everyone would flood to Meta's suite of social media, is that where you would go? And would that be as lucrative for you?
I mean, I think that, as a social content creator, you absolutely probably would have more time to be on other apps. That being said, I think that there's something really unique about TikTok, right? And I think that's why you see even Meta trying to really push towards short form video with Instagram Reels and features that really replicate TikTok. But I think that what really sets Instagram and TikTok apart is that TikTok is very much about top of funnel brand awareness, because the way you consume content on the app is through the For You page. So you're actually consuming consuming a lot of content from people that you don't already follow, versus on Instagram and the Meta products, you're usually interacting with people and accounts that you already follow. And so as an influencer, as a content creator, TikTok is very unique in the sense that it's about growing your audience and meeting new people. It also means that as a business, TikTok is a very, very unique platform, right? So as a business, I think there are 5 million businesses now that rely on TikTok as a central way to be able to reach their customers. And for me, as a direct-to-consumer business owner, I'm very excited to also activate on things like TikTok Shop. And so to say that we would just go over to Instagram, sure, there would be less of an opportunity cost in social media to be comparing to. That being said, TikTok is a very unique app. The way people interact with the app is very unique. And I think that that top of funnel, constant brand awareness, living on an explore page is something that you just don't see on other apps.
And so, Nadia, obviously, because this came as a surprise for a lot of people to see so much bipartisan support moving so quickly, President Biden saying he's willing to sign off on it, what would be the first thing you would do then on day one if they were like, right, TikTok banned in the US?
I mean, first and foremost, like, I think I speak for myself and so many other creators on the app that if there is anything we can do to stop this ban, we will do it, right? And from conversations that I've had with other, creators who also have millions of followers on the app, like, most of us had no idea this was coming, but it's very concerning. And it, for us, feels like it comes out of nowhere. And so I think that we will mobilize as much as we can. And, I've told the team at TikTok, like, we're ready to go to bat, like, put us in, coach, we're ready to go. And I think that this is absolutely something we will stand up for. In terms of what we will do on day one, if it happens that the ban goes through, is I think that we will have to really figure out how we activate through short form video content on other platforms, right? TikTok is definitely my biggest platform. I think that's the outcome of also, again, the algorithm being very much around brand awareness. I have 4 million followers there, but I have 500,000, on Instagram, on YouTube. And so I think it's about reallocating some of that time. But again, I truly think that TikTok is a unique app. It's not just another social media platform. I think especially as a business owner, the ways that you can use the app are very different. And so I would say that I try not to get too ahead of myself in planning for the eventual ban. I know we have to keep that in the back of our minds, but I think that there's a lot that we're willing to do and mobilize around to try and stop a bill like this.